All right, and welcome back. Today, day 7, let's call it, of the 30 sites in 30 days. So the reason that we're doing this, someone in the Skool community was asking, why are you building so many sites? So there's 2 reasons. One is to prove that it's possible to build this many websites in this much time. Second, why is it important? Because what I'm doing is a very localized and focused approach, which means that if I've got loads of local domains all pointing to one another, then they're organically going to rank. But today what we're going to be talking about is the process that we're going to be going through in terms of our linking and building authority for these domains. And there's various tactics and strategies that we're going to be doing. And what we're going to be doing is establishing clear domain authority. And we're going to be going through a process of basically for each of these domains. Some of them are historical, as I've clearly outlined, but the majority of them are new domains, or I've owned them for a period of time and they don't have any backlinks. So obviously what we've got to do is get relevant links from high quality domains, high domain authority domains, pointing in a contextual way. So this is a key part of this strategy and to get them to rank. And so why am I doing this? I'm doing this to show that you can do it too. And more importantly, this will be a record of I've registered this domain, I've purchased it, I've installed this, and I've built a website, and now it's ranking. So the process that we're going to go through is initially we're going to build what we call our foundational links. And how they start is Google Business Profile. It's some of your socials. It's like all of the kind of normal stuff that you would set up for a website. And things like, people don't always do these, but there is, you can get a funding list. I can't remember what the site is called, but things like this that are high domain authority, and basically you create a new profile on lots of different websites, and then you get a contextual link back to you. And what that gives your website is domain authority and IP diversification. So what Google's looking for is this legit? And a website that doesn't have a Facebook page is probably not legit. Whereas one that has Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the list X, the list goes on, all of those links, and obviously as you build those profiles, you point a link back to your primary domain from those, all of those count in terms of your business's visibility and credibility. So we've touched on the socials, we've touched on some of the foundational ones. We're going to build a great big list of these websites that we're going to go and get links from that will demonstrate to Google that we are a domain authority, and no one can then contest it. Next, we're going to build citations. So citations are typically from directories and other kind of associated websites where we get more domains pointing back to our website, and they give us further IP diversification and also authority pointing to our site. Some of those aren't so authoritative, but what these will do is they give us volume. We can then do paid backlinks. So that's a service where you can buy guest posts. I probably wouldn't do it actually in this order. This would probably actually go further down the list. And in fact, probably Parasite SEO might go further down the list as well. But what I'm finding, and I'm seeing this from a number of different parties, is that there's a number of parasites, and Parasite SEO is basically a system whereby you can leverage other domains' authority and then publish content on that domain, and then by building some links to it and a bit of authority, you can actually get those to rank for local keywords and a number of other more competitive keywords, even things like, for example, affiliate things. So if you're trying to rank for an affiliate search term, that kind of stuff, then you can potentially do that as well. So Parasite SEO is increasingly important, and what we're doing is something which basically combines Parasite SEO with cloud stacks. And I kind of see that as a key kind of part of our SEO strategy. So what we're going to be doing is basically building large data sets and lots of different IP variations by creating kind of micro sites, if we call it that, using SEO, using AI. So highly optimized websites using AI, and then basically leveraging that combined diversification to basically really point at our website. What we'll also be doing is obviously, hopefully, some of these parasites will be ranking as well. So we're working through those at the moment. So we're just beginning the testing process to actually put this bit together. This bit is kind of pretty binary, right? So there's just work that you have to do to get these done. You can either do it yourself or you can outsource it. But really, there's not a huge amount that needs to go on there. But with the Parasite SEO, that stuff is pretty valuable, but it is you got to learn how to do it and implement it appropriately. Right, let me just make sure my screen wasn't updating as I was moving things around, so I'm just going to add in this once more. Right, Mac OS screen capture, and we're going to do a different one. We want the other one. There we go, perfect. Right, and I'll add me in as well into this, and hopefully, yeah, that seems to be working. So we want video capture device. Oh, not that one. No, this one. Okay, and we'll put that there, and we'll move that there, and there we go. Right. So hopefully you can see that now. So what I was hoping, yeah, that's now moving. So what I'm hoping is that we can basically combine the power of cloud stacks with Parasite SEO. So what we do is basically build a Parasite. So that could be LinkedIn, it could be X, it could be a Facebook group. All of those things seem to be ranking quite well at the moment. So what we then go and do is then build other links with microsites, so they're contextually relevant. The content is high quality and good quality content. It's got entities, it's well optimized content, and then they point to our Parasite and also to our primary domain. So what we're getting is a chain of links pointing in, which basically hopefully builds our domain authority extremely quickly. What we're then going to be doing is press releases. So press releases, particularly today, is a really important part, particularly in terms of getting AI SEO ranking. So to appear in the AI overview from Google, and also for ChatGPT and other AI search engines, we want to be appearing there. And press releases are a really powerful way of actually achieving that. We're then also going to be doing podcasts. So we'll be teaching a strategy whereby you create a voice or you use a voice. We're not using the Google one because it's American, so therefore it doesn't work very well in the UK. But we've got another version of it that we're going to be doing, which is in English. So that will be also very powerful. Then what we're going to do is distribute those podcasts, and incorporated in that distribution is a link back to our website with the appropriate keyword rich domain and a link. And then also what we're going to be doing is linking back to our parasites. So what these will potentially do is power up our Parasite SEO, which in turn should give us a bit more authority. And then finally, if all else fails, we'll be then going on to, as I alluded to, paid backlinks is the last thing that we would potentially do if the rest of this stuff hasn't moved the needle. Normally, it will. We've got some good strategies. They're well proven, particularly in the kind of foundational link side of things. But yeah, this will power it up. So we're continuing the build. So we've got a number of sites building out as we speak. Let's just have a look, see what's going on here. Right, so that thing's deployed. So that's for St Albans decorators. Interesting. Yeah, that's St Albans Decorators, and then we've got. What I'm attempting to do is I had this really large website that someone built for me years and years ago. Let's just see if it's see how it's looking. Right, so we've actually got this in. Now, what does it say? 1.4 gigabyte database, all the URLs to localhost, login, all your pages there. Wow, let's see if it's worked. No, they're not there. Okay, so it's not there. So the pages are not showing in WordPress. Please review. Right, because what I'm trying to do is regenerate a website, and then what I was going to do is systematically. So this is like a property finance website, which, as you can imagine, is pretty valuable. And basically, what I was intending to do is basically recreate it and then build some authority to the domain, and then hopefully get it ranking for development finance in Rayleigh or Reading or Reddish, etc. So I had basically I changed servers about 3 or 4 years ago, and this site has been down for some time. So I just wanted to recreate it, and part of this, particularly local stuff, is really interesting, because what used to happen was you create a page for development finance in St Albans, and you'd come up in the rankings, but Google's realised that you're just manipulating their system. So now what we actually have to do is have unique content on each page, and then have external links to give that particular page authority. And that comes back to our Parasite thing. So this is a site that I'm building out at the moment. So it's on localhost at the moment. It's not something that's actually live, but we will be pushing that one live once we get it built. Right, so the CMB tables are there, and right, so it's using the WP tables, not the database tables. So hopefully what we will get it to do is actually basically import the database tables, and then what we're using is Docker and WordPress command line interface, which is WordPress CLI. And through that, you can actually build stuff in WordPress. So yeah, let's see if we can get that one up and running. It's a big site. I think it had kind of 10,000 plus pages. And yeah, we're just, going through some of the teething problems that you have with this kind of stuff. But, again, it just demonstrates the type of stuff that you can do within Claude Code. And this one's been going on for quite a while, but yeah, basically I've asked it to WordPress files that were extracted. Can you recreate the website in WordPress via Docker using the following GitHub repository? So basically I've got the income stream surfers repository, and then I was trying to get their Claude Code Wizard to basically recreate it. And I think it's getting there. I think this will definitely work. So there's that one. And then there was another one that was something similar. What's this one? Right. What do we have here? Project review. All pages. Right. So this is saying it's site at localhost, and this is meeting our PRD requirements. Oh, let's see if it works. No. Right, so I'll just try the one that I was going to log into. No, localhost isn't connecting. That might have been from the other day. Right, where is the username and password? It span up for me. That was a different one, that's why. Right. Somewhere here. Right, okay. Fine, that's all good. So I create the password. So let's see if that will let me log in. I use my email. Is it working? And then there's a password here, which I've just copied in. So yeah, we're trying a variety of different tactics. Not working. I'm gonna have to get it to reset my password. That's a pain. Anyway, we're trying a variety of different tactics. Here's a Parasite that we've built as well, just to give an example. So this is on Netlify. So painters and decorators in St Albans. This is a keyword that for my painting and decorating company I wasn't ranking, but let's see how it's looking. I am obviously logged in, so Evenflow, CJ, DMP, Abidex, no, so we're not in the first 10. So I think the problem with this particular site is, not in the first 20 results. I mean, that's not good. It's not that competitive. So I think the problem with it is, here we are. And that's my Harpenden page. That's not the right page. And I know there's more because I was looking at this earlier. There's our St Albans page, and what we've actually got is a cloud stack. So this was built using a piece of software called Yax. It looks a bit of a mess, but some of this is built on Windows.net. So its actual page authority checker, the page authority is pretty good. Yeah, this one seems to tell you what the actual page authority is. Page authority of 43. Right, so that's, it's a pretty high authority page. And what I used to do, so this is my old strategy, so you'd have painters and decorators in Berkhamsted, and then what each of these would then do is link through to, it should be to, so this one's on Wasabi, this one's on Windows, that shouldn't be that. That's linking through to Hertfordshire. What else have we got? So I used to go manually, that's Backblaze. So as you can see, you end up with this kind of load of sites, DigitalOcean. And so what we're trying to do is get a variety of different keywords. Oh yeah, look, that's bunny. That one's not working. So maybe I don't know, whatever's happened with that one. That happens sometimes. This one's blob.core.windows. That's Windows as well. Right, so if we say painters and decorators in Berkhamsted, it will be interesting to see Hearts decorators. So this is an example where this strategy of this is my website. I'm clicking through to it. I'm going to have a flick around. I might look at some pages on it. It's got some errors in some of it, and clearly there isn't a load of content on that particular page, but that is what it is. But the home page is pretty good. It's got a map, it's got Berkhamsted in the map, etc., etc. So as you can see, it's quite nice content. It's quite nicely done. So that does actually get get traffic. So, but if we carry on, what we will see, Hertfordshire interiors seem to be doing quite well. I wonder who this is. Hemel Web Design 2025. So these guys are obviously doing something similar. They've got a quite nice thing. There's a bit of authority there with the checker trade stuff. We didn't have any of that, but does it matter? Berkhamsted.co.uk. Wow, they've got that as a domain. That's a good one. If we carry on, we will find, I'm almost certain, that we will find those sites that I just showed you. Keep on going, keep on going. But this is a strategy that used to, there we go, we're there, that's our domain again. So we're ranking multiple times for the word Berkhamsted, painters and decorators in Berkhamsted. But the Parasite, the the Yaks pages aren't currently ranking, which is interesting. They used to, and maybe that's a sign of the times. But anyway, yeah, we'll do some more work on this. But I just wanted to kind of show you some of the things that we're working on, and also to demonstrate some of my experience, because we've been doing this stuff for years, and it does work. It does work, but yeah, not for obviously for every location. But as you'll see, I mean, if we do painters and decorators in Bulldog, we can do that in an incognito window. So these guys are obviously advertising. Let's have a look at, see what they're. St Albans, M&C Household Services. Anyway, yeah, so they're advertising. JLP, DMP, Hearts Decorators, right? So we literally rank for. I mean, if you commercial decorators. Hearts Decorators, right? So we're actually featuring in the AI preview because of all the content that we've. Look, there we go. I wonder if we do commercial decorators St Albans, do we rank? I think we will. No, it just does. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Right, so we are in it. So I'll put a click on that. But it's just our commercial decorators page. It isn't our St Albans page. For some reason, it doesn't like our content on the St Albans page, and I think it's basically because I over-optimized it. So I think we need to probably do some work on that page. Anyway, just wanted to give you a kind of bit of an overview, and if we just go back to our kind of list of things, these were, so what we did for that website, Hearts Decorators, we did foundational links, we did socials. I don't even think we did. Yes, we definitely did citations. We did cloud stacks. We didn't do Parasite. So what I'm thinking of doing is then basically reconstituting those cloud stacks and adding some more value to those, and potentially do a load of new ones. We didn't do any press releases. We haven't done podcasts. We haven't done paid backlinks for that. So yeah, that's kind of where that one is. In terms of the, actually just quickly on that site, I'll do it in incognito. So painters and decorators in Harpenden, which is actually where the business was located. See, we come up first. So we've got that as our primary. And we're first organic result as well. So, yeah, you can see that one has stood the test of time. I've literally haven't done any work on it for probably about 3 years. As you can tell, when we go into, about us and things like this, the content is okay, but it's just very light. It's just not really block management painting. I don't even know what that means. Like, why is it called that? There's various, and again, the content is so thin. You used to be able to rank with this because what you used to be able to do is, this used to work, right? But because there's not the depth of the content on these pages, Google's not interested. You need to be writing 800 to 1,000 words probably for a page like this, and it needs all the appropriate headers and everything else built in. But yeah, this is the kind of next stage of it. So what we want to do is build out the sites, get the sites built out. So as you can tell, we've got a load of those still running. And then once we've built the sites out, then we'll begin link building. But yeah, hopefully that was a useful introduction into the process that we're going to go through. And if you join the Skool Community, we'll basically provide you with a full suite of the links that we're going to be using. And we're going to be testing different approaches on different sites as the link process progresses. But yeah, hopefully that was a good insight for you. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers.